Do you kind of feel the same about emotional connection to kind of business and money and stuff like this?
Yeah, you got to 100% remove all emotions. Like, I don't even check my accounts no more, because what does it actually, like, the money that you have now, if you've got no clear goal with it at this current time, what's the point of being stressed over it? You know what I mean? You just got to not be scared to invest into the correct things in yourself, into education, to networking, because all of this stuff is going to make you more money. Like, you might lose, like you said, you might lose a few £1,000 here, but if you lose them later, it's going to be a lot more. You got to remove the emotional attachment completely, because it's the same with Etsy. If one of your stores get banned, you just got to move on, learn the mistakes that you made from that one and apply it to the rest. You can't make it without not failing. Like, no one makes it on their first try. No one makes it on their first try. It's really impossible to step into a business model and on your first attempt to make it. You might make it, but it will eventually go downhill. Whatever goes up comes down. You just got to make sure you learn from that down to go back up. That's why networking is so strong, because you can learn from other people's mistakes. So like in Etsy Kings, I'm always reading through the chats and always staying updated with other people's progress, because I will see a mistake that they've made and then I realize, oh, I don't need to make that no more, and I can just go completely around it. So I'm learning at the cost of other people's failures, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's super good about the community as well. Everyone kind of shares their failures, shares their wins as well. So it's like, okay, someone else makes that failure, and then like 25 other people have read it instantly, and then they're like, okay, wait, fuck, I'm making this mistake at the same time, so like, okay, let me go change this before this happens, right?
It's one big testing ground.
Literally, that's the best thing about it. And like, everyone's kind of helping each other, and just like, it's a really good community. And it's just everyone's kind of helping and building each other up and stuff like this. And it's like if someone takes like an L, right? Someone gets like a big store, or they lose a bunch of money with a supplier, or they make a big mistake, or something like this. It's like everyone's there to almost support them, to kind of prop them back up again and be like, bro, you got it. Like, you've already made money. Like, you're fine. Because often people have kind of, entrepreneurship is lonely, right?
Very lonely, yeah.
No one really understands the struggles unless you're like another entrepreneur. Then you kind of do get it. Especially when you're an entrepreneur, you've got a lot of like internal dialogue, like constantly ticking over with like doubts of what you're doing. Whereas if you have someone else to kind of speak with, even if it's just like a friend, right? It's just a friend. They have no percentage in your life. They have no percentage of your businesses, but it's just to run ideas through someone else, because then they can give you an unbiased perspective. We were talking about this before on a different podcast. It's like, as you're an entrepreneur, you do more and more of the same thing, and you kind of pin yourself within a box of like knowledge. So with like Etsy, like I've done this. I pin myself within a box. Like, I like this method, I like this strategy. And then I'll speak about that strategy to someone else that's done multiple 7 figures. And then they'll be like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? And it's like, because you've pinned yourself so much in that hole
it's what
of
you know.
Just comfort.
Yeah.
When someone else comes along and looks at that box of comfort you've made, they're like, you should be doing this. Like, why are you not doing this upsell? Why are you not doing this strategy? Why are you not doing this? It's like, okay, fuck. Like, it's so useful to just have someone else's opinion on your stuff. And a lot of people really do help as well, like, especially in Etsy Kings.
Especially when you take, so for example, if you take an L or something happens, when you tell the community, they will say, bro, I took 5 hours this week.
Like fucking
and it
10
makes
times
you
to me,
feel better, because there's other people you can relate with. Whereas if you're going on your own, no one can relate with you. Whereas if you're talking to other people, which have took bigger hours, it's like, oh, it's not the worst. I can bounce back from it, because they bounce back from it.
Yeah, like this guy took L's and now he's doing 100k a month. Like, fuck, okay, shit, I can't be a pussy and just eat it. It's like, okay, I need to move on, get better, and go forward, and actually, like, just don't be a pussy, right? Like,
basically.
I put a voice note on the Etsy Kings chat today, like, just don't be a pussy, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a big kind of mentality of just, okay, entrepreneurship is a very weird thing to do. Like, no one's really trained to do it. You're not taught in school how to run a business. You're not taught how to kind of overcome these type of problems. And essentially, entrepreneurship is just solving problems over and over again until they get bigger and bigger and bigger problems. And then as you're dealing with bigger and bigger problems, you're getting paid more and more and more for those same problems over and over and over again. So it's like, it's very fucking difficult. So it's like, you really just have to have a weird mentality of just like not being a pussy and just like, fuck it and just run it and just go.
You got to become kind of cold towards the whole e-com, basically.
You got to become cold to the money, essentially, as well. It's like, if you really love the journey, you're gonna walk way further. I can't remember the quote, but it's like the person that loves the journey will, I don't know, some bullshit like this. But it's like if you love the journey, you'll go so much further than someone that loves the destination, right?
Yeah.
If you're just like purely like, I want to make $100,000, rather than just like, okay, let's figure out this, let's make the best product, let's do really focus on the ads, really focus on the marketing, let's build really good systems to build these stores. Okay, very, very quickly you're going to have like $100,000 profit, and it's just going to come across to you. Whereas if you're constantly focusing on, I need to make this money, I need to make this money, it's like you're kind of getting trapped in the mindset of just, I need to make money, rather than I need to make systems to make that fucking money.
Yeah, you're basically just trapping yourself towards the money, because 1 month you'll do really, really, really well and your dopamine is already at the top, but because you're constantly chasing the bag, if the next month you lose a bit, you're thinking, oh, I had all of this good times here and now it's back down. And some people will give up. Some people will give up and shift business model, because like you said in the voice note, people will think that I've managed to do this once, why can't I do something else? But changing business model is never good, because you're never mastering the thing. You need to put time towards
You're never getting the depth. You're never putting like the actual roots into the business model. It's all like surface level. So like you made a bit of money at the surface and you kind of think it's really fucking easy. And then you're just like, oh, I can go do anything. You get this massive ego of, okay, because actually dropshipping right now is fucking easy. Like you can make money quickly. Like you really fucking can. If you're doing the right things, following the right methods, you can make money very, very quickly. So a lot of, obviously people are young, right? Like people are young. It's still new, right? But they make money quickly, and then they're like, okay, wait, fuck, I can go make money in anything now. It's like, okay, this is easy. Like the whole business, everything's super easy. It's like, no, it just doesn't work like that. It's like you really got to understand an industry to make big, 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 big cash. Like you've got to be in an industry for years upon years upon years to really make like M's. Like M's.
I feel like the people which think like that probably haven't worked a 9 to 5 and haven't realized how hard life actually is. Once you work a 9 to 5, you see that this can't be my life. But people which haven't worked a 9 to 5 don't know what the other side of the story is like. They just think they have nothing to compare it to.
They almost think like they deserve it.
Yeah.
Like they deserve all this money and stuff like this. It's crazy. Yeah. Like one thing I'm very grateful for is like, not really, my parents like, I would say pushed me. Yeah. They pushed me to get a fucking job. Like they didn't give me money. Maybe give me like 10 quid here and there. Right. Yeah. But they didn't give me loads of money. Like I had a job literally at a paper round from the age of 12. And I've always been working for like 11 years now. I'm 23. So I've been working the entire fucking time. Doing, obviously I did paper round for like 2 years, like 7 days a week,
in
like
cold.
In the fucking freezing cold on a little bike, like cycling around, like every single day, because then you understand like the humility of like what other people go through, and you understand like you don't deserve anything and you have to work fucking hard to get shit, right? Like I remember working in fucking Waitrose, which is a supermarket. Like that was the most brain dead job of my entire existence. People do that for like 30 years.
Yeah,
like,
I worked in Sainsbury's. It's not nice.
It was literally like sometimes I was at the checkout. Sometimes there wouldn't be people there for like 2 hours. I'd just be like almost falling asleep, just like nodding off. Like I'm just like constantly waking myself up. But it's like you have to understand that to have the humility of like really going for it. And you can really tell as well, like people that have made a bit of money online, especially crypto nerds. Bro,
easy money,
bro. Easy. They make easy money quickly, and then they have no skills.
It's a gamble.
It's like it's gambling. They made money gambling, and then they have no skills. They have no life experiences. They've done through like almost no hardships, and it's just
it ruins their reality of money.
It's so boring as well. They've just got no. They have no like life skills. Almost. They have no like stress tolerance if they just caught a quick pump and then just made a fucking bunch of money.